Wheels has brought. He's brought some artillery, which I'm not particularly surprised with. Obviously, artillery for Skaven is ridiculously powerful, and he's gone for the Warp Lightning Cannon. And I think that is going to do him very well when he takes on the large of the Lizardmen army. So let's have a quick breakdown of what he's brought here. His front line, he's got some Storm Vermins, he's got some Plague Monks in the center there. He also has some spears out of his slaves, so they're really just throwaway meat shield units. So you can kind of see the quality of his army is kind of on the flanks and in the center, and then he's mixed in some weaker units at the back. He's got some Poison Wind Globadiers. They're also going to be very good against large, and obviously he's got his Plague Priest in the center there. Taking on his right wing there, he has taken 2 units of Rat Ogres. They're very big damage dealers. Probably don't want them to get tied down. And at the back there, he has a unit of Spears backing up his Warp Lightning Cannon. Interesting army. I think it's got the numbers, and it's very heavy on killing large. But has Mitch actually taken any here? Got my game sound on. Can't tell over here. Obviously, quickly looking at Mitch's army, as he's coming forward straight away, he's got his Feral Carnosaurs, his front line's made up of a load of Saurus Warriors, and some Temple Guard at the back there, and he's also got his Pterodon Riders flying in. And there's Mazamundi. This is... he's pulling him back a bit, but he's just going straight in. He has to. The artillery's going to be hitting him straight off the bat, and you can see that Wheels is trying to get his Rat Ogres around the back here. Those units are feral ones. He's just going to send them around the flanks here. So this is interesting. He's already dropping his stones down on those Storm Vermin in the back. Did a lot of damage as well. They are very powerful. A lot more powerful than I thought. And he's going straight for the artillery. And those spears there are not really going to be able to do anything about it. And you can see in the middle of the combat there, the Feral Pterodons already in combat, already going after those Plague Monks. Is that really a good engagement there? Especially when they've got the Globadiers over there.
Well, it's not a good engagement for the Plague Monks.
Well, no, they don't seem to be having the best day of it. But when it comes to infantry, is this something that very much favours Lizardmen?
It depends on whether there's Storm Vermin around or not. So,
yeah, his Storm Vermin are kind of on the flanks here. In fact, they haven't even been engaged. They're still out on these flanks. Very sloppy movement here, a bit by Wheels. He's still got like all those infantry just sitting there.
That's what happens when you have an army the size of Skaven, though. I guess you've got so many units, you just lose track of them.
Yeah, and you can see over here he's trying to pull those Rat Ogres down. I think he's really been caught out by the Pterodons here, being able to go for his artillery straight off the bat. It does look like that Feral Pterodon's going to go down. He's put Cold-Blooded on it, which obviously replenishes HP, but at the minus of not really being able to do as much damage. He's going after Mazamundi though. And he sent in his Plague Monks on that. But there's a lot of big creatures in the way, I think.
Yeah, Plague Monks don't pierce armor. And those big dinosaurs have a lot of armor.
And he has Temple Guard as well, who are easily, I think, one of the best looking units in the game. Absolutely monstrous. Talking of monstrous, we've got ourselves a Feral Carnosaur here. By far one of the best looking units. Oh yeah, come on. This is not looking good for Mitch right now, is it? Sorry, for Wheels.
He just needs to clear up his artillery in the backfield so he can take some shots on those big creatures, but I don't think he's going to do it.
He's going to start getting shots now, and there's one of them.
There we go.
He's firing at Mazamundi, and he's hitting him as well. That's quite a big target.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of damage. He's also had trophy heads put down on him as well. And that is that Mazamundi fighting there against
the Plague Priest.
Yeah, Plague Priest, who's not having a great day of it. So right now, this is a pretty all-encompassing fight. I mean, over here, still the Storm Vermin are just not engaged. But if you see over here, that Feral Seglodon is running away. This is a back-and-forth battle here.
Yeah. And I think Michael is actually summoning some clan rats to give him more numbers with Vermintide. So.
Where is he doing that? I don't see
it already happened.
Already happened, yeah. Once a minute, get the menace from below.
No, not menace from below.
Oh, not menace from below.
It's a Lore of Plague spell called Vermintide. Which lets you summon a unit of clan rats for around like 5 magic, 5 power or so.
Oh yeah, it's in the quest battle actually.
Yeah.
There's Quick Head Taker. You know, he's fighting. He's obviously very good head to one-on-one commander. Does a lot of damage here. This is. I can see Michael starting to get a bit of control on the battlefield here.
Here comes the Storm Vermin finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they've just been having a bit of a picnic over in the corner. They've barely taken any damage. I mean, Mitch is starting to get some rallies on his Feral Stegodons here, but this is looking really messy for him. And that artillery is back up in action as well. Well, actually, I say that, but I mean, there is a Connoisseur over here. But it's a good matchup because it's been tied down by these, you know, Clan Rat with spears. Not exactly the, you know, a high-costing unit for the Skaven here. So a lot of this is coming down to this fight here, and it's Temple Guard and Lord Mazamundi, and obviously he's got a Bastardon with his laser gun. Possibly one of the coolest things we had in one of the quest battles.
I think that's a Revivification crystal.
So what does that one do?
It heals.
Ah, okay. Have you been giving him advice on what to take?
Maybe.
I kind of feel like you have.
He didn't follow me though, so.
Yeah, the balance of power though is very much half and half. The amount of units obviously the Skaven had was double that of the Lizardmen, but now it's pretty much half and half when it comes to that. These Storm Vermin have been a very good choice in this battle, I feel.
They have, but just the amount of time they've spent in combat is just, oh, he needs to get them in there properly.
Well, they're in there now, and they are fighting against the Stegodons, so they are doing quite well in that. A lot of magic's been put down, so you can see there's going to be a lot of resurrection. So run me through the crystal.
Basically, it'll heal a unit for around 500 health over a period of 26 seconds. So it's a fairly slow heal, but Bastillodon has 10 charges. So in general, you want to take out the Bastillodon before you try to focus down on like the other big monsters. So that's like the main value of having a Bastillodon at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, and there you see that artillery's back in play, and it's doing a hell of a lot of damage. And it's a perfect place for it to be. I mean, everything's really being just held down by a lot of the, Storm Vermin and other Skaven units, and this just gives them perfect time to just keep firing that artillery into combat. That was a miss, but it was close. You can see the Feral Connoisseurs. You know, they don't hang around as long as some of the other units, obviously.
Yeah, they're the feral variants, so they're going to rampage or run off the field. They're just wild animals, really. So hard hitting, but they won't stay around very long.
Yeah, so you've got to use them for kind of more hit and run than for long-term fighting.
Or support them. Just make sure you've got a big block of Saurus warriors around them at all times, I'd imagine.
Yeah. What Mitch could have done is actually bring the character mount versions of, like, because the Lizardman heroes have Stegodon, Ancient Stegodon, and Carnosaur mounts. So he could have brought those for a bit higher price and got a more power and reliability out of that. But he didn't.
Well, it's not over just yet. We're talking like it's already over, unless you... Oh.
Ooh, it's not looking good. It's not looking
just as
good.
I say that. Obviously, there's a lot of units out of control here, and obviously this is a mechanic with the Lizardmen when they...
They're feral instincts, they're primal instincts even. They'll kick in and then they'll just start fighting and be out of your control for a while.
I don't think Mazamundi's having a great time constantly being shot out by this lightning. Yeah. But, and there's Cleek, he's not having a great day either by the looks of it.
Yeah, he's going to need some support because he's just not able to take on a Stegodon.
He's taking on more than one right now. But obviously he's got some Rat Ogres in there to help, and that laser fire constantly coming in. Laser fire, obviously the warp lightning. But there you go. You wanted some support? How about some Clan Rats?
Yeah, that'll help. Oh, the Carnosaur is back.
Well, this is an epic fight. Obviously, this is looking very dangerous. So Mazamundi is on his last health here. He's going to get shot out, I feel.
He's been focusing on him the whole battle, so it's going to pay his points back if it actually gets this kill, though.
Yeah, I can't believe how many shots he's actually fired on him.
Yeah, well, Mazamundi, you can easily pay 3,000 gold for him, so he's a big investment.
He's had a bad day. That's not gone well. I think this is going to be a win for the retaining champion, King Wheels, here. I don't even know what's left. What has Mitch got left?
Temple Guard, maybe?
Temple Guard?
I'd imagine it'd be Temple Guard.
Oh, yeah. Is it Temple Guard? Yeah. My favourite unit in the game.
These guys don't quit.
They're absolutely amazing looking units. So how would you want to use Temple Guard, except from in this situation where they're getting smashed from all sides by Rat Ogres?
In general, you probably want to point them at the biggest, meanest thing you can find on the battlefield.
Look at this, they're just being surrounded right now.
That's the Vermintide.
Into this game now, we are going to be looking at Oscar. So I want you guys in chat. Is it going to be Agony Duck? Well, that's used to his old name. Now it's CA Duck, or is it going to be Gary? So put that down in chat. High Elves, Dark Elves. Let me know in chat what you guys are supporting.
Let's shove us an emoji with a massive beard on it if you vote for Gary. And is there a seal emoji?
Is there a seal emoji? Find me the closest thing to a seal emoji and spam it in chat for duck. Or spam a duck. If there's a duck.
Duck will also work.
So obviously, let's have a look at some of the units that Oscar has brought. He has brought the Dragon Princes. By the way, these guys are one of the best looking cav units we've ever put into the game.
They really look cool.
These guys are absolutely amazing, and they've just vanished because he's deploying them somewhere.
Also, look at this map, Dogbert. Look at these beautiful Ulfuan vistas that we have.
I just love the rainbows.
Look at the rainbow. Beautiful towers in the background. Incredible.
Terrain and everything, the backgrounds for the maps in Warhammer 2, absolutely amazing. For those, you're going to be seeing a lot more of it, obviously, when you get to play it. There is some spectacular stuff, especially for me, Lizardmen territory, seeing all the temples and the jungle. Honestly, you guys are in for a treat when you get to see that, when you get your hands on the game, and you'll be seeing it a lot on our live streams in the coming weeks. So let's take a look at Duck's army here. At the front line, he has taken some archers. Obviously, High Elves, very, very good with our archers. He has taken at least one flying unit, possibly two.
Oh, is that a cheeky dragon he's got there?
He's got a cheeky something.
Is it Star Dragon?
This is a Star Dragon.
Yeah,
they got what they wanted. They got the Star Dragon.
So
is this been requested? I don't know.
Gary played against Oscar yesterday in a quick test match, and the Star Dragon caused Gary a lot of problems. So I think Gary might be preparing for a Star Dragon this time.
So we got White Lions of Jazz. These guys, obviously, great axe infantry, and they just look badass.
Yeah, they've got that massive white lion pelt on their shoulders, which makes them look very cool. Yeah,
definitely. Obviously, you can see the what happens when you play a lot of multiplayer stuff. He's taken a lot of just the cheaper spear infantry. But then again, for High Elves, I don't know how cheap their spear infantry really is, because all their units are pretty well rounded. Obviously, he's taken a Mage of Life, and along with his cav, he also has Tyrant, and he also has his Dragon Priest over here. And what's he has hidden here? Ooh. Oh my God, this is not going to go well.
Ooh, cheeky.
He's got Olivian Readers and Reavers.
And we're off as well.
And straight away into Dark Riders.
Oh wow.
How do you think this one's going to go?
Well, the thing is, this is more favourable for Gary because he's closer to the rest of his army, so he can double back right now and cut these guys off.
I'm not sure if he's going to make it there in time. Look at the damage they're taking already.
These Reavers are tearing them up. It's shot cav versus shot cav, but I think Duck got his charge off.
Yeah.
And it looks like Gary's going to try and make haste and get out of that combat. But I think at the same time, Duck realizes that if he stays there any longer, then more cav are going to turn up. And it's time for a cold one with the boys.
Now these guys are an incredible unit. Really, really good anti-large damage, and they're very good at taking down other cav. So he needs to be careful there. Those Illyrian Reavers will get torn to pieces.
Yeah, but they are very quick, and they are out of the action. So obviously that's going to be 2 units of Cold War Knights, and they are, spear cav, so they'll be very good against large, especially things like the Star Dragon if you can get them in combat. He's taking a lot of Executioners, their dual sword infantry. So give me an idea of what dual sword infantry kind of like do. What makes them interesting? Oh my God, there's the breath from the Star Dragon there.
Damn.
Obviously, dragons in Warhammer 2 were able to do, breath attacks.
And that's all dragons as well, and the Hydra. The Hydra can also spit fire when it's not in combat as well.
Yeah, but it hits everything. It can. It goes all over the place. It can hit your troops and the enemy troops. So you have to be very careful with it. It's kind of like a cluster.
It's very cool. It means that you can use it like a bombardment unit as well, those dragons, which is very fun.
And the thing is, I don't think Gary has anything right now that can deal with that. I think that Star Dragon is just kind of having free reign over.
He's got nothing in the air.
His line.
He's got no real ranged. Obviously, we do have
Cauldron of Blood there.
Look at that.
Death Hag. That just looks amazing.
You've got to pimp my ride.
Shout
out to Duke in the chat for giving me that joke.
Trying to look as cool as possible while marching.
He looks really annoyed, doesn't he?
Just like, oh, for God's sake, I've already lost my ride.
Deal with these High Elves again.
Not another Star Dragon.
And that Star Dragon is just sitting at the back here. You can see that range fire is starting now, so this is one that's going to get quite interesting. Oscar is trying to bait him in here. This is what happens when you play a lot of multiplayer. You don't need to rush in here. You've got some range. He's got more of a well-rounded army with the High Elves, so he's trying to just bait in Gary here. And obviously Gary has some anti-large, which he's going to need against that Star Dragon, but it's all cavalry-based pretty much.
I'll tell you what, this is a much more long, thought-out strategic battle than
me and you were just straight in there.
We would just smash each other to pieces straight up.
Well, this is what happens when you play a lot of multiplayer, I think. But he doesn't have that much range. He only has like 1 unit of range here. But obviously, they're still very powerful.
High elf archer units are very, very good. Do a lot of damage.
Also, a lot of the dark elf units here don't have shields or anything, so you know they take it quite badly.
Yeah, especially when you go for those.
Oh my god, that charge!
What a charge! Dragon Prince is coming in, shivering them.
And this is where
the chariot.
This is where the lack of spear units is going to be very, very dangerous for Gary. And these cav are just going to constantly be hammering into these units and taking them out one at a time. And look at that backup there. Even though he's taking a charge here, and obviously the Cold War Knights are coming in, he's got a spear unit there to back up, along with whenever he needs to use it, a Star Dragon. So this is not a bad engage at all. But those Dragon Princes are taking a lot of damage.
It's those Cold War Knights, man. They're so good at taking out other cavalry. They do so much anti-large damage. And do you know what? I think I told this to Gary before the stream, and he's literally just taken an entire army full of them.
Well, that would be something that you would do. Obviously, you see, this is a good fight on this flank for Duck. Bringing in those cold ones, he's going to need it, especially against a Star Dragon here.
Yeah, this is his chance to take that Star Dragon out of the game.
He's not going to do enough damage here. Over on the front line, though, it's kind of more going the way for the Dark Elves. So I think this is going to be very much cavalry versus infantry battle with a Star Dragon thrown in. So obviously he's got a Death Hag here, and that is giving a lot of buffs to his melee infantry nearby, and that has already routed a lot of the High Elf infantry here.
I'll tell you what, I think Gary's actually probably got the stronger infantry here if he can view it. And he's just popped Murderous Prowess there, so Murderous Prowess is one of the army abilities for the Dark Elves. Once a certain number of kills on the battlefield have happened, they're going to get a map-wide buff for about a minute, which is going to do a lot of damage for them.
Yeah, these High Elves are giving up the ghost already. But that's expected considering, you know, Murderous Prowess, and the fact that you know, they are fighting against, you know, melee infantry.
And we just talked about those dual swords, dark air. Is it? Have they got the Black Ark Corsairs there? Or
yeah, he does. He has Black Ark Corsairs.
Yeah, those guys are really good at anti-infantry.
Executioners are such a good-looking unit as well.
Those death masks.
But you can see at this point, this flank the cav have already been broken. You know, obviously he's lost a lot of his cav in this, but he still has them in fights somewhere. And that Star Dragon's barely been touched. So infantry fight has gone Gary's way, but the cav fight has most definitely gone Duck's way. So this is going to be kind of a more hit-and-run approach now from Oscar.
But also, we're going to see now that he's basically got no anti-large now that those Cold War Knights.
One unit spears.
He's going to get wrecked if he's not careful.
I don't know how many more charges that Star Dragon has for that range attack, though. I believe it's limited at 3. So a lot of those units have been routed in that combat exchange. They're starting to rally now, and I would expect you're starting to see them reforming somewhere. And you can see the same as well from Gary. Malekith here. He's doing all right. He's going to be doing a lot of walking in this battle, I feel.
Very sassy. I feel like one thing that's going Gary's way is that he's very uniformed in the centre there. So a lot. He
has to be, especially when these charges are going to come in. He needs to get, from Oscar's point of view right now, especially he's got a bit more of a hit and run. He needs to be able to hit the flanks and kind of hit, you know, hammer and anvil. He does have range. Yeah, he does have that dragon, so he's choosing when to engage. But Gary needs to swarm him when he does. But he does have one thing which is able to move quite quickly, and that is his Death Hag on the man.
Powered by sheer want for blood. It looks amazing. I love that model. It's actually tall enough to like poke the dragon in the head when it's flying. It's just going to run around now. These archers
are not going to have a great time of it, I feel.
Just ramming in. Those archers are going to be taken out pretty quick.
So over here, this is you see what I'm saying. As soon as there's a unit isolated, it's going to be taken out, and you can already see that movement coming out from. Whoa, wrong button. You can already see all that cav making a move here. So those Corsairs are probably going to get caught out, I feel.
And Oscar's just taking his time. He's just reforming his units. Doesn't need to rush here. He's got the advantage of maneuverability, which means he can pick the engagements. And as we can see, in come those Reavers with Tyrion at the front as well, and they're going to take those Black Ark Corsairs. Bosh.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the little jump there just at the end.
And along with that, in comes a little unit. Nothing.
Just a small one.
Just a small one. And more cav as well. So yeah, this is going to be a strategy for Oscar. He wants to isolate these Dark Elf units and just overwhelm them with cavalry and obviously Star Dragons. Oh my god!
Oh my goodness, that was a charge.
See you later. I wouldn't get up. I'd play dead. And away he goes. He's done his job for today. So obviously you can see Gary's trying to bring everything just back in, so it's kind of chasing him at this point. Oh, big spell there, Vortex spell.
Oh, he's just
catching out a few, but not enough.
Just not gone in the direction he wanted it. If that had gone towards the unit, that could have done a real like chunk of damage against those white lions.
And look, there's another rear charge, and then in again. So this is going to be just constant hit and run. And this is what happens when you kind of have that cavalry and monster advantage. There was a single range or two range units maybe on the Dark Elves would be able to do something about it. But he's just going to be playing catch-up in a lot of this battle.
And I tell you what, the Dark Elves have some really good range units. Those Dark Shards, I think, the repeater crossbow units with shields as well, they can really do a lot of armor-piercing damage. And I think that might have been a good choice for Gary to bring into this battle. But it's too late, Mitch.
It is too late.
It's too late.
It's too late.
I think that Star Dragon might just win.
He might not actually be able to get away here. If he keeps him in combat, he might be able to surround him. Obviously, a lot of these other units are too far away to do anything, so this is a chance. Oh my god!
Look at that! Devastation.
What was that?
Oh, and that's broken quite a few of those there.
You can see that morale starts to drop now. Although in come the Executioners.
Word of Pain's been dropped down on the Star Dragon, and he is coming really low to dying. This might be it. Might be able to get him here.
Oh, in come the White Lions. This is a real clash of cut titans here in the centre. There is a lot of damage being dealt out.
That Star Dragon it's got regrowth on it. Where is that priest? There it is, the Mage of Life.
Oscar's really holding back.
He buffed him up massively. That resistance, 44% physical resistance. You know, great replenishment effect. I think he's buffed that spell as well. So, man, the HP just went up massively on that unit.
He's almost gone all the way up to full health with those.
Yeah,
look at the spells he's dropped.
It's exhausting and wavering, but HP-wise, it's there. But more importantly, Tyrion's down. He died in that fight. I don't know where he died, but he was here somewhere. So this is the good chance here for Gary to make it.
This could be it.
And you can see their morale over here is not going to be great. The Lord's dead. And, you know, in this, you know, death blob of Dark Elves, Malekith, once again, he's just strolling to victory at this point.
I feel like Duck should have targeted Malekith a bit more. He's really helping out with the morale on that side. And in comes some more rear charges.
Yeah, I love the Dragon Princes. Oscar's been using them to great effect in this battle.
I think Gary's done the right thing, though.
But he's called it quits.
There you go.
There you go.
Gosh.
Gary's done it.
Wow.
My goodness. This has really been the underdogs.
Yeah, wow.
Malekith just took out Tywin and the army just melted. The dragon kept in combat for quite a while there and did an absolute great job. But Malekith really showed his strength in that combat, along with the rest of those executioners. I mean, lost his cav really, really early. The Cold One Riders did not hang around very long. But, you know, he took the infantry out really early. I said it's going to be a fight between the cav and then infantry. And I think obviously having the Death Hag on the mount really, really helped being able to buff up that combat strength, keeping that raw power going, just buffing them up there. And he just chewed through them. And it just kept in that blob. And as soon as the Star Dragon did come into the big fight, he couldn't get out of it again. He was stuck in combat. I
think the issue is Oscar didn't specialise in something. Gary knew exactly what his combat was, right? Yeah. He had those executioners on the front line. He was going to go over there, get that armor-piercing damage, and wipe out the infantry. And once it got to that point, because Duck hadn't really specialised in one type, it meant that he was sort of not strong enough on both of the other flanks to actually take him out.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, I think the Dark Elf infantry really came up against some weak High Elf infantry, so they triggered that murderous prowess quite early on. So that definitely played in Gary's favour quite a lot.
And then as soon as those White Lions came in, murderous prowess, giving them all that extra damage, bang.
Yeah, the infantry that they did have for the High Elves was just outnumbered and outclassed quite early on. And yeah, that murderous prowess, when that propped, that was it. Like, you could see Oscar trying to run his infantry away, straight away. Yeah. He just realised that this fight is over. Get away. Run to the hills. So
boys.
The boys are back. So let's go over to the couch and see what's going on there.
Well, that was a lot of fun.
Get out of breath, Gary.
Stressful. Yeah, it was really stressful. The clicks per minute were...
This is the day of the underdog by the sounds of it. We could see Mitch come out with just a build that he wasn't expecting. He might go for a very heavy infantry. The Lizardmen with those Temple Guard and stuff like that have some very, very heavy infantry they can bring to the battle, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see. We've got the Silver Helms coming in as a shotgun on one side. We've got the Phoenix Guard, who just look absolutely amazing.
They're very cool. Very good anti-large.
In that center, he's got his White Knights. He also has another unit of archers, which he's been quite consistent on having. He also has the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower. Easily one of the best look. I remember seeing these in a Games Workshop like 15 years ago. So, and I always thought they looked cool then, and they are very good in the game as well. Mate, he's taken two nobles who are going to be on mounts, along with Tywin as well. He's got his Phoenix Guard. Obviously, he's positioning up in the woods, and he's got his Reavers out there. Are they archer ones? Oh, they are.
Ah, gone for a bit of range cav. Interesting. Yeah. Very interesting. Lizardmen have a lot of skirmishers, so we'll see if they come out.
So obviously he's got a lot of spear units, and he also has some halberd infantry as well. So that's kind of a well-rounded army, I feel. So let's have a look. Oh, and out here he's also got another unit. Oh, no, it's the same one. He just moved it to the other flank. How dare you try and confuse me, Oscar? Yeah, Tywin Lannister, Tyrion. Yeah, sorry. Bad
Tyrion.
Tyrion, I know. Tyrion. I was watching a video on Game of Thrones yesterday, and it's just stuck in my head up here. So, obviously, let's have a look at what Mitch has taken. He's going to have some Saurus Warriors with shields in the center. He's gone for a Bastardon with Solar Engine on the top. He has taken a Feral Carnosaur and a Feral Teglodon. Finally, he took some Skink Skirmishers. You know, these guys are so useful. I've been using them in my campaign.
They look so cute.
Temple Guards on the side, on either flank. And he has Mazamundi on his mount as well.
Absolute tank.
Yeah, and straight off the bat, there's going to be that skirmishing, and there's he does have one unit to kind of do something about that, which is his Skinks. But what you're going to have to be careful of, if they get too close, I think that Duck would just go for a charge.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like that's one of the great things about having melee and archery on those cav is that you can just go in against those archers who are not going to have anything to deal with you as well. And I don't think the range on those Skink Skirmishers is quite as good. They've got that 360 arc of fire, which means that they're not really going to be able to snipe people out from a distance, but they are pretty handy at just sort of popping up in those hard to reach places and just sort of, you know, running away whilst firing still as well. It's going to be interesting. We've also got a little solar engine fire coming in.
Yeah, trying to hit that Eagle Claw, but so far he's managed to just hit the same place twice. And that one guy, was that two? Two of them down.
Oh my goodness. So we're actually in Naggarond for this battle map here. The frosty realms of the Dark Elves, right in the northern tips of the world. And you can see those beautiful Dark Elf structures in the background as well. Those big sinister towers. Kind of look like a Mace of Molag ball sticking out the earth.
Got a hit now.
So just trading blows with the artillery at the moment.
Pretty much. I think these kind of things favour a more experienced player, and that's kind of why Mitch is kind of happy to sit. Oscar is kind of happy to sit back. He's got kind of more range. He's kind of artillery. You know, he can do this. He can just pepper. You can see it's kind of forcing a box already from Mitch, which, you know, he doesn't really have to worry about too much. Obviously, you know, the Silver Helms here, you know, going to be very dangerous when they charge in, but he needs to make a decision what to do. And obviously being in the woods as well is going to give him a good advantage against, you know, some of the monstrous and mounted infantry. But it looks like this artillery fire is gauged a response, and it's going to be a wild charge here, and I think this is playing right into Oscar's hands. But that artillery is still doing some damage. Right into the Phoenix Guard, which I think he should have been targeting straight from the bat.
Absolutely. And it's always nice to take out the other artillery, but those Phoenix Guard are going to be his biggest problem here, especially with those monstrous units. Oh, in comes a Carnosaur.
Almost. What magic spell is he putting down on him here? Oh, he's put the nets down. Oh, this is bad news.
Oh, dear. That is bad news for that cab.
But this does mean the fight over here is kind of disjointed, which might favour a little bit of more action from the High Elves because they're actually closer. But that unit has just been shattered.
That's what happens when you got 4 units coming after you and you can't move, including a Carnosaur.
And there you go. That's going to be Temple Guard helping in that. And look at those Phoenix Guard, and obviously the White Lions are chasing away the Feral Carnosaur. This fight, is not going to go anywhere near where you would want for the Lizardman, and especially with this kind of hero blob. Yeah, so these guys are in deep, deep trouble. They're going to get cut up quickly.
They're also frenzied, and this, once again, as we said in the previous battle, that's one thing that you've got to watch out for some of these Lizardman units. They might oh my goodness. They might be very, very strong, but they are going to get stuck in those combats if they get frenzied and you don't look after them. And we saw that Carnosaur go mental over there on the flank, which means he's not going to be coming in for a little while.
So I can see immediately what the strategy is for Oscar, and it is to just go for Mazamundi here. And that's what he's going to do.
Oh my goodness! Just look at the
well, this is hard to take a lot of infantry against Lizardman.
Wiping them out. I'm not sure the White Lions of Trace are the best choice for this combat. They're more anti-infantry as far as I'm aware. I think those Phoenix guards
magic. There are the nets.
On the nets again.
So he's going to use that. I think he's going to try and get out of this combat, which would be advisable at this point.
Going bad for him morale-wise.
And there's some more Saurus warriors that are coming in. This is brilliant play by Mitch, by the way. He's doing a great job of tying down a lot of these high elf units and being able to bring in his more powerful ones on top of it. This is going really, really well.
Lizardmen just look fantastic, don't they?
Obviously, the artillery is still firing over here. I think something's in combat with them, and it's some of the Saurus warriors. But those shots are still coming in. You can see the top view here. I think, what's that? The Feral Carnosaurs, a bit far away from the action.
I'd say one thing that Mitch didn't really...
Tyrion there with the heroes are just doing damage to that Feral Ceglodon. Probably not too long for the Earth, but it's out of control, so it doesn't really matter for him.
One thing that Mitch really didn't do against me was take out that artillery, and that artillery is just going to keep firing on those monstrous units. Such big targets, so he should take that out as soon as he can. You can see those hits coming in. That
fire is constantly coming down on Mazamundi right now. You can see he's going to put some healing down on himself, which is also causing some fear. So as Phoenix Guard, you know, they're just not easy to break. So they're doing a good job holding in there. And that artillery is constantly firing as Mazamundi there.
A lot of people saying that Mazamundi is weak, even though it's like got the biggest health pool in the entire game.
Yeah, he's been murdering units, and he's been getting targeted by like heroes and lords quite a bit.
And spells.
And spells. So it looks like finally someone heard what I was talking about and thought maybe it'd be a good idea to bring this guy back.
Well, the Carnosaur was in frenzy, so he was sort of going mental on the side. So that might be why he didn't get to bring him in as soon as he could.
Yeah, so you can see kind of the strategy of Oscar here to group up his nobles and Tyrion and use them in combat, and they're doing a great job of just focusing down individual units one at a time. And that's what he's kind of focusing on now. It's still with that artillery constantly firing archers over there. They're going to start running out of ammo though. But, oh, big spell! Massive spell!
Oh my goodness, that's a long, long, long fire line.
What spell is that? I actually am not sure.
That is one of Mazamundi's, right?
Yeah, Ruination of Cities.
Ruination of Cities. Look at the dev with the knowledge. This is why we bring you in, Gary.
That is devastating. That literally just broke a loading. And Tyrion's running as well. He's terrified. Oh my god, this is not going well at all. Come on, you can't let me down on my picks. Come on. I was perfect up to this point. Is that all you're
concerned about?
That's all I care about at this point.
About himself.
Those magic, those spells have absolutely just broke the back of the High Elf army here. You can see he's trying to kind of just rally back here. This is the only way he can win right now. Is Mazamundi is out here alone, and he's getting surrounded by Tyrion and a noble. And I'm sure as soon as these other troops start rallying, he's going to bring them in as well. So this is the only way he can get back into the battle here.
If he can kill this Lord, though, these feral units have not got good leadership, so they could very well run away.
Also, you can see that he's brought in another monster.
Talking of running away, he's just given up, and that's it.
You know, if you build up that early momentum, you can really ride it.
I think we'll see a strategy from Gary similar to the one he used against you, Oscar.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of good frontline infantry just coming in and triggering murderous prowess.
Well, let's take a look at Whelan's army. He's gone for a click head taker, obviously devastatingly powerful melee legendary lord.
Especially against lords, yeah.
Yeah, honestly. And he's taken an assassin, which is an interesting choice. I've used one in the battlefield. This is going to be very much like ambush. Try and take out one of those lords or legendary lords. He's got Plague Priest as well, a big caster. Most of his infantry, what has he gone? He's gone for Poison Wing Gobbardiers, 2 units of those. These guys, from my understanding, are more armor-piercing and anti-large. So
The Death Globes are armor-piercing.
Mm-hmm.
The Poison Winds are just purely anti-large.
Yeah.
So think more of in terms of like Norscan Javelins.
Okay. And his frontline infantry, he's got a lot of clan rat spears. In the center, he's got the Plague Monks. And he also, that's frontline, 3 units of those. And clan rats make up his flanks. He also has a Doom Wheel. We have a Doom Wheel, everyone. Damn right, this is what you want to see.
Yeah, I think if Gary repeated the same sort of army, that Doom Wheel is
just going to do work, yeah.
So that's his army. It's pretty good. Let's have a look at what we have over here for Gary. He's taken 3 units of Cold War Knights.
That's a weird choice in a way.
I think
that is weird against Skaven.
It's 1 too many.
Against Skaven, that's very weird.
Yeah, but if you're expecting maybe to come up against like a a Hell Pit Abomination
or Rat Ogres,
I
think Whelan loves sending those around the sides, so that could
taken in his center. He's got a unit of the Witch Elves, obviously very powerful damage dealers, and then he's mixed up his army. He's got a lot of Executioners, I think, and Corsairs. So that's 2 units of Executioners, 2 units of Corsairs. At the back there, he's got some Dread Spears, and I think that was the same unit of Witches over there. And not surprisingly, it's Malekith again. And he also has I think the thing that gave him a victory in his last game against you, Oscar, which is the Death Hag.
Yeah, the Death Hag is extremely powerful. And the Witch Elves are going to be really critical as well, because they've got that...
we also got Dark Riders right at the back there in Vanguard deployment. So I think this is kind of a surprise. This is a rush to the hill from both sides here. I think this is the one that Skaven are most definitely going to win.
Yeah, definitely.
This is dangerous for Gary to be right up here. I don't think there's a need for him to be here.
Could just be getting some early cycle charges in.
The problem is that the Cold War Knights actually have Rampage. So that...
Oh, so he could lose them here. He could lose control of them here.
If they get bogged down in rampaging, he's basically wasted 3 units of cavalry.
Yeah.
Oh, he's kept control of them here. That was a good charge. But he was into clan rats. I mean, is it really worth it?
Everything counts, but that was a high risk maneuver.
Especially considering, look, this unit here is going to get rushed down. Those Skaven are just swarming them right now. But this does break up the formation of wheels, and obviously, if you're a bit more experienced player, trying to get someone to spread their units out all the way, especially when you've got a lot more mobile units like the Cold One Riders, can play to your advantage.
Especially I've noticed with wheels, with his micro, if you can like distract him and keep one of his units like not doing anything, he does tend to just leave it there for a while.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of units to micro. It can get a bit much sometimes, and that's why you're trying to always focus your lines into just getting them engaged and then focus on cavalry.
Especially Skaven, because you tend to have more units than anyone else is Skaven.
So you can see this flank took a bit of a battering, but it's really only a unit of clan rats and spears. I don't think that is a good trade.
No, it wasn't. Like,
at all. Like, these guys are expensive and very powerful units.
I could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah, definitely. And then it's going to be he's pulling back. He's trying to like bait something, I think, here.
The problem is that he has to attack that hill because he doesn't have any ranged units.
I love the Doom Wheel. Just it catches you off guard all the time. You think it's going to fire one way and then it goes another. So at least this is something that the Gobbardiers are going to be able to do quite well against, which is that Death Hag.
Yep.
Yeah, Wheels is very static here, so he's not getting any charge bonus at all. It's all Gary.
So big charges here. Rampage for the Witch Elves here. Cab charge straight into those clan rats, and that's made them disappear.
Yeah, Gary needs to get those around the back, I think. That would really help.
There's a lot of rampaging going on from all sides here. Those Plague Monks are out of control as well. And here come the Dark Riders right into those Gobbardiers. That's a brilliant charge.
That's good, yeah.
That's what they needed.
Murderous Prowess has gone off as well.
Super early on, yeah.
And a big spell as well coming down from Malekith. Into his own units, though. This is looking terrible for the Skaven. They're getting routed left, right, and centre. And that Murderous Prowess. So how much of a big boost does that Murderous Prowess give you in combat?
Basically, restores fatigue. Gives you, I think, 25% more melee attack. for 90 seconds or so. And then some other reload bonuses, charge bonus, and other cool things. And morale as well, so it's sort of a second wind, but now he sort of got it so early that's more of a first wind.
I think this is a massacre. This is not going well. Those executioners and corsairs are just all over the place.
Yeah.
And Clique Headtaker is in deep trouble as well. He's got Word of Pain down him. That's a big debuff as well. Oh man, I don't even know where the rest of his army's gone. He's just been shattered here.
Wow, yeah.
This is what happens if you let them get the murderous prowess off so early.
Yeah. I mean, they had everything there. Gary had the charge, he had the murderous prowess, he had better infantry, he had the cavalry charges. Pretty much had everything.
Bad day for Clique Headtaker. Where's that Doom Wheel? I think that might be the only thing he has up still. There we go. He does have his assassin. But I think this is pretty much it. You can see some rallies are coming in now for the Skaven, but they're too far away.
Yeah, and the cold ones will basically shut down the Doom Wheel.
Well, at least he's doing some damage with that. But yeah, as I was saying, the Cold One Riders, they're a brilliant unit to take out the Doom Wheel. So it's static right now. It's just being held down.
I think Queek is routing there.
Yeah, he's not long for this Earth.
It's going to be over then.
Wow. So it basically just went all Gary's way from, well, except for maybe a bit of a questionable charge at the beginning. Yeah. But did that not boost up his murderous prowess to get it closer?
That definitely helped with his murderous prowess. And it worked out for him, but he was quite close to, like, if it had gone a bit worse there, he could have rampaged and those units would have been tied up there and they'd been isolated and he would basically had to attack early to salvage anything from the situation. So he went for a high risk, high reward type of approach and it worked.
I would question taking the Poison Wind Gobadiers in that battle. I think maybe mixing it up, maybe taking either, I would have said more monstrous, but maybe just more infantry. I don't know. I mean that.
Well, Help It Abomination could have been a decent alternative instead.
Yeah.
That would have helped deal with the Blood Cauldron. But I think the man himself has better.
Yeah. So I just want to have a look at some of the kills here, just to put it out there. Those Cold Riders, one of them managed to get 100 and